47, Jackie took the stage, broke the color line, turned the page. Negro Leagues legacy, forever grand, lives in our hearts across the land. April 15th, the day Jackie broke through. As a young Dodger, he turned the world on its head, broke the mold, couldn't keep him down. History made when Jackie came to town. And he's rounding third, gonna come home safe. They're saying it couldn't be done. He said, just wait. Made his way to Ebbets Field, swinging hard, giving his all. Under the bright lights, they made him feel small, but Jackie Robinson stood proud and tall. And he's rounding third, gonna come home safe. They're saying it couldn't be done. He said, just wait. Made his way to Ebbets Field, swinging hard, giving his all. Under the bright lights, they made him feel small, but Jackie Robinson stood proud and tall. And he's rounding third, gonna come home safe. They're saying it couldn't be done. He said, just wait. Just wait, he was the first to wear it. Now he's forever enshrined. One last steal for a man who could do it all. We'll miss you, Jackie, this world was too small.
Welcome to the final episode of our three-part series on the Negro Leagues, part of the Baseball Historian podcast, where we dive deep into the stories that shaped America's pastime. I'm your host, and today we're exploring how the Negro Leagues helped break down racial barriers in Major League Baseball and reflect on their enduring legacy. From the historic debut of Jackie Robinson to the modern recognition of Negro Leagues stars, this episode celebrates a legacy of resilience, pride, and activism that continues to inspire. Quotation from Jackie Robinson before breaking the Major League color barrier, but often quoted in relation to his time in the Negro Leagues. "I'm not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being." The historical context, a segregated America. The Negro Leagues emerged in a time of intense racial segregation, rooted in the aftermath of slavery. After the Civil War, freed African Americans faced systemic racism, violence, and a hostile legal system that offered little protection, as historian C.P. Ripley noted in The Underground Railroad. Despite these challenges, African Americans built institutions like newspapers, schools, and churches to foster community and pride. By 1920, the Negro Leagues became a prominent example of this resilience, providing a platform for black athletes excluded from Major League Baseball, MLB, due to the unwritten color line. The struggle for autonomy and dignity that began with escaped slaves continued into the 20th century. The Negro Leagues were not just about baseball. They were a cultural and economic force, offering jobs, fostering community pride, and challenging racist stereotypes. As we explore their role in integration, we'll see how they laid the groundwork for one of the most significant moments in sports history. Jackie Robinson, breaking the color barrier. By the 1940s, the push for integration in baseball was gaining momentum, driven by civil rights advocates and progressive figures within the sport. Branch Rickey, born on December 20th, 1881 in Stockdale, Ohio, was the general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers and a man with a vision to integrate baseball. Rickey, who had witnessed racial injustice as a college coach, believed that signing an African-American player was both a moral imperative and a competitive advantage. His search for the right candidate led him to Jackie Robinson, a standout infielder for the Kansas City Monarchs. Short biography: Jackie Robinson, Jack Roosevelt. Robinson was born on January 31st, 1919, in Cairo, Georgia, the youngest of 5 children. Raised in Pasadena, California, he excelled in multiple sports at UCLA, becoming the first athlete to letter in 4 sports: baseball, basketball, football, and track. After serving in the U.S. Army during World War II, where he faced a court-martial for refusing to move to the back of a segregated bus, Robinson joined the Kansas City Monarchs in 1945. His speed, hitting, and fielding made him a star, but it was his character, resilient yet disciplined, that caught Rickey's eye. On October 23, 1945, Rickey signed Robinson to a minor league contract with the Montreal Royals, the Dodgers' top farm team. Rickey warned Robinson of the hostility he would face, famously saying he needed a player with guts enough not to fight back. Robinson debuted with the Royals on March 17, 1946, in Daytona Beach, Florida, facing discrimination but earning praise for his performance. On April 15, 1947, Robinson stepped onto Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, New York, as the first African American to play in modern MLB, facing the Boston Braves before 26,623 fans. At age 28, he went hitless, but reached the base on an error and scored the go-ahead run in a 5-3 victory. Despite relentless racial abuse from fans, opponents, and even some teammates, Robinson batted .297, stole a league-leading 29 bases, and won the inaugural Rookie of the Year award. His success helped the Dodgers reach the World Series in 1947, and he later won the National League MVP in 1949 and a World Series title in 1955. Robinson retired on January 14, 1957, and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. He passed away on October 24, 1972, in Stamford, Connecticut, leaving a legacy as a baseball icon and civil rights advocate. Robinson's debut was a turning point, proving African-American players could excel in MLB. His dignity under pressure, honed in the Negro Leagues, inspired others to follow. Roy Campanella, born November 19, 1921 in Philadelphia, joined the Dodgers in 1948, becoming a 3-time MVP catcher. Larry Doby, born December 13, 1923 in Paterson, New Jersey, debuted with the Cleveland Indians on July 5, 1947, as the first black player in the American League. Don Newcomb, born June 14, 1926 in Madison, New Jersey, joined the Dodgers in 1949, winning the Cy Young Award in 1956. These players, all Negro Leagues veterans, carried forward the legacy of excellence. The decline of the Negro Leagues. Integration, while a triumph for equality, had a profound impact on the Negro Leagues. As MLB teams signed top talent, teams like the Kansas City Monarchs, Homestead Grays, and Newark Eagles struggled to maintain their competitive edge. By 1951, the last Negro League season had concluded, though some teams, such as the Indianapolis Clowns, continued as barnstorming clubs into the 1980s, playing exhibition games across the country. The decline was bittersweet. The Negro Leagues had been a source of pride, employing players, coaches, and staff while drawing large crowds that boosted local economies. Teams like the Homestead Grays, based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C., were among the largest black-owned businesses of their time, generating significant revenue. The loss of these institutions was felt deeply in African American communities where games were social and cultural events. However, the end of the Negro Leagues also fulfilled a long-held dream. Andrew Rube Foster, who founded the Negro National League in 1920, had envisioned a day when black players could compete alongside their white counterparts. Integration marked the realization of that vision, even if it came at the cost of the league's existence. Modern recognition, righting historical wrongs. For decades, Negro Leagues players were under-recognized, their statistics excluded from MLB's official records. This began to change in the 21st century as historians and advocates pushed for greater acknowledgement. On December 16, 2020, MLB announced that it would designate 7 Negro Leagues, operating from 1920 to 1948 as major leagues, recognizing the contributions of approximately 3,400 players. This decision, made during the centennial celebration of the Negro Leagues and amid nationwide calls for racial justice, was described by Commissioner Rob Manfred as correcting a long-time oversight. On May 29, 2024, MLB took a further step by integrating Negro League statistics into its official records, a process overseen by the Negro League's Statistical Review Committee, chaired by historian John Thorne. This integration reshaped baseball's record books. Josh Gibson, born December 21, 1911, in Buena Vista, Georgia, emerged as MLB's all-time leader in career batting average .372 and single-season batting average .466 in 1943. Gibson, who played for the Homestead Grays and Pittsburgh Crawfords, also holds records for slugging percentage and on-base plus slugging, OPS. His estimated 800 home runs, though not all officially documented, underscore his legendary status. Gibson passed away on January 20th, 1947, and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1972, Josh Gibson biography. Other players benefited as well. Satchel Paige, born July 7, 1906 in Mobile, Alabama, gained 28 wins, bringing his total to 125. Paige, known for his hesitation pitch and showmanship, played for teams like the Kansas City Monarchs and debuted in MLB with the Cleveland Indians in 1948 at age 42, helping them win the World Series. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1971. The integration of statistics ensures that players like Gibson, Paige, Cool Papa Bell, and Oscar Charleston are now measured alongside MLB legends like Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb. Preserving the legacy, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, located at 1616 East 18th Street in Kansas City, Missouri, is a cornerstone of this legacy. Founded in 1990 by former players and historians, including Buck O'Neil, Alfred Surratt, Larry Lester, Phil Dixon, and Horace Peterson, the museum began in a small office in the Lincoln Building. It moved to a 2,000 square foot space in 1994, and in 1997, relocated to a 10,000 square foot purpose-built facility in the historic 18th and Vine Jazz District, 2 blocks from the Paseo YMCA, where Rube Foster established the Negro National League on February 13, 1920. The museum features exhibits, photographs, artifacts, and interactive displays, including the Coors Field of Legends, with life-size bronze sculptures of Negro Leagues, greats, and a documentary narrated by James Earl Jones. It hosts educational programs and events, ensuring that the stories of players like Effa Manley, the first woman inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006, are told. Manley, born March 29, 1897, in Philadelphia, co-owned the Newark Eagles and was a fierce advocate for players' rights. In 2010, the U.S. Postal Service issued commemorative stamps honoring the Negro Leagues, featuring a scene of game action and a portrait of Rube Foster, designed by artist Kadir Nelson. The stamps, unveiled on July 15, 2010 in Kansas City, celebrated the league's impact and Foster's role as their cultural impact and civil rights. The Negro Leagues were a cultural phenomenon, fostering pride and unity in African American communities. Games drew thousands, boosting local businesses and creating social hubs. Teams like the Chicago American Giants, founded by Rube Foster in 1907, drew nearly 200,000 spectators in 1921 alone. The East-West All-Star Game, established by Gus Greenlee in 1933 at Chicago's Comiskey Park, attracted over 20,000 fans annually, rivaling MLB's All-Star Game. The leagues challenged racist stereotypes, showcasing black excellence. Players became role models, inspiring future generations. Buck O'Neil, born November 13, 1911 in Carabel, Florida, played for the Kansas City Monarchs and later became a scout and advocate for the Negro Leagues. His quote, "If you want to learn about America, you have to go through the Negro Leagues," captures their significance as a microcosm of American society. The Negro Leagues also contributed to the civil rights movement. Jackie Robinson, after retiring, served on the NAACP board and advocated for racial integration in sports and society. The league's success laid the groundwork for broader societal change, demonstrating that African Americans could excel when given the opportunity. Key figures in the Negro Leagues: Andrew Rube Foster, born September 17, 1879 in Calvert, Texas. Foster was a pitcher, manager, and executive who founded the Negro National League in 1920. Known as the father of Negro baseball, he set high standards for professionalism. Foster's Chicago American Giants were a powerhouse, and his leadership stabilized black baseball. He passed away on December 9, 1930, and was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1981. Bud Fowler, born John W. Jackson on March 16, 1858, in Fort Plain, New York. Fowler was the first professional black baseball player, debuting in 1878. He faced hostility but played for various teams, earning induction into the Hall of Fame in 2022. Moses Fleetwood Walker, born October 7, 1856 in Mount Pleasant, Ohio. Walker played for the Toledo Blue Stockings in 1884, possibly the first African American in what is now considered MLB. He passed away on May 11, 1924. Gus Greenlee, born December 26, 1893 in Marion, North Carolina, Greenlee owned the Pittsburgh Crawfords and founded the second Negro National League in 1933. His East-West All-Star Game became a marquee event. He died on July 7, 1952. Table: Key Negro Leagues milestones. 1859 First Black Baseball Game, Henson Baseball Club versus Unknowns in New York City. 1884 Moses Fleetwood Walker Inn, MLB plays for Toledo Blue Stockings, possibly first black major leaguer. 1885 Cuban Giants formed early professional black team, presented as Cuban to attract audiences. 1887 National Colored Baseball, league first attempt at a professional Negro League, failed after 2 weeks. 1920 Negro National League, founded, Rube Foster establishes league in Kansas City, Missouri on February 13th. 1933 East-West All-Star Game, Gus Greenlee creates annual showcase at Comiskey Park, Chicago. 1947 Jackie Robinson debuts, breaks MLB color barrier with Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1990, Negro Leagues Baseball. Museum founded in Kansas City, Missouri to preserve history. 2010 U.S. Postal Service stamps. Commemorative stamps honor Negro Leagues and Rube Foster. 2020 MLB recognizes Negro Leagues, 7 leagues, designated as Major Leagues on December 16th. 2024 statistics integrated Negro Leagues stats added to MLB records on May 29th, honoring players like Josh Gibson. Conclusion: the Negro Leagues were a testament to African American resilience, providing a platform for excellence amid segregation. From Jackie Robinson's historic debut in 1947 to the integration of their statistics in 2024, the league's impact on baseball and society is undeniable. They fostered pride, economic opportunities, and community unity, continuing the fight for autonomy that began after slavery. As we close this series, we're reminded of the power of sports to transcend barriers and inspire change. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, cultural tributes, and MLB's recognition ensure that this legacy endures. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Baseball Historian. We hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for this vital chapter in American history. We leave you with a quote from Buck O'Neil. "It was an honor to play in the Negro Leagues. We didn't get paid what we deserved, but we had pride and dignity. We played the game the way it should be played."
In the world of baseball, there's so much to know, from the seeds that were sown long ago. With the baseball historian, let's go on a trip through time, let the learning flow. Let's go to the baseball historian, where the past is our domain. Hear the stories of the game that will always remain. Root for the knowledge gain. If we don't learn, it's a shame, for it's facts and stats without pain at the baseball historian's game. From the first recorded game to today, every moment, every play we'll survey. The evolution of the game, come what may. With the baseball historian, hip hip hooray. Let's go to the baseball historian, where the past is our domain. Hear the stories of the game that will always remain. Root for the knowledge gain. If we don't learn, it's a shame, for it's facts and stats without pain at the baseball historian's game.